So, Colette, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us to tell us a little bit more about your nomination. And you're one of the finalists in the NLP Awards. You're a finalist in the business category.
Yay!
Which absolutely. And I'd love to tell. I've been reading your nomination, your many nominations. That it's just beautiful reading. And one of your nominations is from Robert Dilts, and he writes some beautiful things. So I'd love to know more. He says that you have the only school in Quebec to offer a program entirely dedicated to management and conscious leadership, leading to an NLP Executive Professional Coach Diploma.
Yes.
So that's clearly part of the reason that you've been nominated. So do tell us a bit more about that.
Well, I remember when I was living my NLP course, I was already in business and giving trainings in corporations and with teams and leaders and managers. And I always remembered saying, okay, how would I do this with a leader? How would I do this with a team? How would I always find a way to tweak and adapt and be generative with the tools? So when I created my own school, NLP school, I said, well, this is the time to create a full program, manager coach, leader coach, executive coach program. And the tools, we keep the spirit of each tool. That's very important for me to honor why a tool was made in such a way, but how can we adapt it to a certain context and to the business context and using the language that we use in a business atmosphere so that it can talk to the managers and the leaders that we're accompanying. And I remember when I was training NLP, I also often had human resources directors or directors of a corporation. And they also asked me when I was teaching traditional NLP, they said, well, how would I do this? How would I do this? How would I, like polarities, exercises when you're talking with your hands. I said, well, how could I do this in a business context? Oh, I say, well, you have your I'll use my phone here. You have your phone here. This is this part, and you can have your bottle of water. This is this part, and we have parts talk. We use other ways to talk about the parts. So, yeah, it's finding a way where everything is smooth and useful for them, because the tools, as we know, are so powerful, and our businesses and leaders need tools, and so they come out of the trainings with a big. Coffre outil, how do you say, toolkit in English, and they are applying it on a daily basis. So yeah, it's been my passion, and it's been my generativity is really present. You know you're in the right place when you have this creativity that flows through you. So I was able to see all the tools and see how we could tweak it to make it accessible for businesses and leaders.
And it's a beautiful merging of your, because again, your applications, the nominations allude to your 19, 20 years in a business corporate environment, but you've now taken that experience and that expertise and woven it in with the NLP to create a beautiful application.
Absolutely. And for me, I'm reminded of what I've learned in my NLP trainings. I based my school on five words. As we know, in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, the linguistic is really important. And the first word was consciousness, being fully present and conscious within our being. And the second one is NLP awakens our leadership. I'm associating with my fingers because that's my anchor, because they're all present. And the leadership is, how can we be congruent and have that vision and be a model for that world that we want to create. So we awaken our leadership, and then our excellence. I won't give you the finger, but I I associate it to the middle finger, which is always striving to go a bit further, to get out of our original maps, enhance our maps of the world. So we have to strive to discover new things, to discover our full potential. And then the fourth word is our how do you say in English? Bienveillance. I guess it's the caring side. For me, NLP is, pardon me?
The nurturing.
The nurturing, the caring, the compassion.
Yes.
And that's how do we take care of ourselves? How can we care about ourselves? And once we are well with ourselves, we can also be caring for others and compassionate for others. And the last one is associated to our creativity. All the NLP tools awakens our creativity because it brings us so many different new perspectives or different ways to see things. So those 5 words are what mark the school and the programs that I do, is what I took away from it and I wanted to give back to the business world. And I believe that when businesses are more conscious, they lead through their actions, and they do what they believe in, and they are striving to learn and to grow themselves, and they are more caring with themselves and others, and they are more creative. Well, wow, our businesses can go far. So yeah, that's the mindset behind the creation of the program.
That's beautiful. And some of I'm just going to read some of these comments to you from the various nominations, because they're just so inspiring. And it says, she radiates light and love and sows hope wherever she goes, which is just beautiful. And
I'm going to cry here.
Everything she touches turns into possibilities. How amazing to have that gift of giving people that. And she is one of those women who marks our lives in a culminating way forever.
Oh.
So you are clearly making an impact amongst these people that your students and the people that you're working with and the people that you're coaching, which is just wonderful. So what does it mean to you to be nominated for this award?
They say NLP is filled with powerful questions. Can you repeat the question? What does it mean to me?
What does it mean to you to be nominated for this award? I know you celebrated when the award was supposed to be in May this year. So I know it means something to you.
Yes, it does.
We will be celebrating for real next year. So
it was already winning. To be nominated was like, my goodness. I am blessed. I truly feel blessed to have such amazing participants in my programs, and having the opportunity to share what I hold so dear to my heart. They say NLP changes our behaviors, changes our mindsets, changes our beliefs. But for me, it's also changed my identity. Actually, for me, it's like embodying, I am NLP, and the vision I have for the world, what I want to contribute. So it means the world to me to have been recognized. And for me, I already won. Just to be nominated is like, wow. That it's traveled across the ocean and gone all the way to you in London. It was just like, wow, amazing. So I hold it very dear to my heart, and I am proud to continue to share and do what I love, and it brings good to the people and to the businesses. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, thank you, Colette, because as I said, reading that's a snippet of the words that have been written, and they are just so inspiring. And I was asked last week what inspires me, and I said it's the people in the field. You know, I know when I feel my eyes welling up with tears, I know that I'm sitting with someone, I'm sharing space with someone who is inspirational, I'm reading something inspirational. So thank you for your contribution to the field, because it's clearly huge. And I know from meeting you, you know, we've met before when we were allowed to meet in person.
Yes.
and you do have that impact on people. So who, or maybe even what has inspired you on your NLP journey?
Well, can I say Robert?
I think that counts.
There's a spirit connection from another level when I met this man. Actually, the first time I met him was I was doing an interview on creativity in business, because I'm really passionate about also awakening that creative culture, generative culture in businesses. And I found out that he was an author, a prolific author on the subject of creativity and innovation in business. And the first time I met him, I was interviewing him on how do you become creative and how can you bring this into the world and into the business world. So I was asking him all these questions, and I had like maybe 3 days of NLP training. I had done like just the basic training. So I didn't know much about NLP, but I knew he was a world leader in that field and in creativity. And at the end of the interview, he said, you're doing NLP, you're doing modeling. And I said, well, what's modeling? I don't know what that is. And he says, well, you got it. So I said, really? And from that moment, there's like I met my brother, I met a friend. There was like this spiritual connection, and since then, I continued my trainings. I did my whole coaching program, and then became a teacher, and then I became a master trainer with Robert, and now I collaborate with him in his leadership team. And to be honest, I think I met him in a dream when I was 11 years old. So when I saw him, it was like remembering him. And in this dream, it was using a universal language that would help and heal the world. So when I met him and I met NLP, there was an instant connection. And that's why I'm so passionate about NLP and what it can contribute and give. Wherever I work or I train, whether it be in Morocco or in Finland or in Mexico or in Bali or wherever we go, people understand. We unite in NLP.
Yeah.
So it's that universal language that can really make a difference. So it's getting it out there, getting the word out and helping people in this situation. And it's been my help. It's been actually through this pandemic that we've been living NLP. We are blessed to have an amazing toolkit, and it's helped me so much to get through it. And I see people struggling and I say, wow, if only we can keep sending it out there. So we're all doing what we can.
Absolutely.
So I would say Robert Dilts has been a very big inspiration for me in training, in creating this program, and actually building my school that is also aligned with my values and the humanistic values and the heart-based values.
I think it's safe to say Robert definitely comes from heart. So
yes,
definitely. Thank you. And so, well, you've sort of alluded to it. Where would you like to see NLP in the future?
Everywhere. I really see it as, how do you say that in English? Un tremplin, a springboard to our next level of consciousness, especially in businesses, and businesses are struggling right now. I don't know if it's like that in London, but with the pandemic, there's like a lot of businesses that are closing down, and some of them are succeeding to make it through this period. For me, it's been actually my best year in 20 years. To be honest, because they're all coming for the support and the need, and so they need to awaken that generativity within them to see how they can rebuild their business. And so NLP tools and the SFM tools are there to support them in this transition period that we're going through. So for me, what do I see is I'd like to see every business in the world having their NLP toolkit, helping them build their leadership, build their teams, and bringing them to the next level.
and because, as you say, that takes them to the next level, and especially in businesses, who wouldn't want something like that? Like you say, especially now. I think there is a crossroads. There's a reset. There's it's definitely a time for reflection, I think, for all sorts of people, isn't it? And that's where businesses like yours can be so supportive and so helpful to what's going on and making some sense of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Through the craziness.
Absolutely. So I mean, that's, you know, as I said, your nominations, they filled my heart with joy reading them, and they are just such a testament to you as a person, and clearly the impact that you have had in the business world internationally and there in Canada. It's just so inspirational, and I think we are so lucky to have you in the field of NLP, and we're so lucky to have all our finalists, and to be honest, everybody who's working NLP and being a great NLP professional. But, you know, congratulations again to you for being one of the finalists. Very much deserved. And we will be coming together virtually for the awards next year. And then we will be coming together hopefully in person in 2022 as well.
And I know the virtual can also be very powerful. To be experimenting it for the past 9 months, I'm noticing that magic happens even through the virtual. So it's okay. It's all good.
And we can still dress up. So
yes,
fine.
We can still dress up. I'll have my champagne ready.
Excellent, excellent. It will be. We're planning on having the awards in the middle break of the day. So because there's a big gap in the conference timetable, so we'll be doing the awards over the Saturday and Sunday, sort of in the break. So maybe quite early in the morning for you with your champagne.
Oh, champagne or orange juice? I'll have.
Fine, it's fine. Anyway, thank you again, Colette, for your contribution and for your inspiration in the world of NLP. And we will look forward to seeing you next year, if not before, at the awards. So
thank you so much, Karen.
Take care.
You too.